fight, considering that he's already strong?
Yeah, well, yeah, I see Jessie Vargas winning in surprising fashion. But it's good. It's a win-win situation for both. I will stay on top and make sure to become a legend myself and start this new legacy for myself. And he will be able to be a great senator after that. You know what I mean? 100%. So win-win situation.
Jesse, what did you think about his last performance?
I thought it was out of the 3 fights that he had with Bradley, I think it was his best performance. I think many of us would agree. It's going to be a good fight, very entertaining. He has a lot left in the tank, but I'm ready. I'm ready for the best Manny Pacquiao that can show up that night, and it's my time to shine now.
Jesse, how are you approaching this fight? As your first title defense or as a fight with a legend?
It's my first title defense in the welterweight division. I'm 2 division world champion, so it's just another fight for me. You have to understand that I've been doing this since I was 8 years old, and I've defeated so many guys that they said that they were the best in the amateurs and the pros, and that they said that they were going to defeat me, and a lot of people thought they were going to defeat me, and I proved them wrong. So I'm used to being the underdog, so right now being in such a big fight, and me being the underdog again, it's just another fight. It's just something else that I have to prove to the people.
You were looking for a Kell Brook fight, but that didn't go through, and you ended up with a fight with Pacquiao. Did you get the better end of the stick?
It's another fight. I think that it's a better opportunity just because the name recognition that Manny Pacquiao has is much bigger than what KO Brook has. It has to offer. So it's definitely a plus. I'm glad to be in this position.
Jesse, most fighters are usually not worried at all about Manny Pacquiao's speed, and then they come to find out that his speed is a big difference in the fight, and his awkwardness being a lefty. Are you at all concerned with his speed or his awkwardness?
Not at all, to be honest. Because we are setting to outdo Manny Pacquiao when it comes to speed. We're going to be faster than him. We know that we can match it. We knew that before. But then I saw some internet trolls say, oh, he's not going to be able to handle his speed. And I came in the next day and told Dewey, I said, Dewey, you know what? I don't only want to match his speed, I want to be faster than him. So let's start working on that. So that's a goal of mine, to be faster than Manny Pacquiao. If he was able to reach a certain amount of speed, when I can increase it and I can take it to another level. And that's what I'm going to do on November 5th.
Jesse, is there anything you learned from his losses against Mayweather or Marquez?
Definitely, we learned things from several of his fights, whether he won or lost them. But of course, his losses do stand out, and we have to see why and the reasons he won. We gotta know his strength and weaknesses. So we see a lot of his fights. But more than anything, I'd say Dewey watches more. I don't really like watching tape. I let Dewey watch it. He does all the homework and tells me. Comes up with his assessment and tells me what we have to do for fight night.
When did you stop working with Morales?
You have to understand we only worked together for about 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. Yeah. I changed trainers in the middle of camp. So it was something that needed to be done at that time. But it's just no one ever sees that. I was going through a lot of complications in training camp for that fight. But 3 weeks was the deal, and that was that.
Jesse, what do you have to do to earn Manny Pacquiao's respect inside that ring?
Show him that I'm a fighter, show him that I'm not scared of him, and show him that we're ready for a real fight with a very intelligent fighter.
And does it faze you at all that you're facing a legend, one of the best fighters of our generation?
He's just another fighter.
Another opponent?
Just another opponent. Not another opponent because he's just another fighter. Right. That's the way I see it. A lot of people. I've been in this position where I'm the underdog. I think in every one of my fights. And I proved everyone wrong several times. I proved them that I'm the real deal. But whether I get the credit or not, I beat these guys that you think that they're future superstars, and they have the KO ratio 80% or whatever the case might be, and they're animals. But then I beat them, and they say, well, they weren't that good anyways. So this one here, you really don't have any excuses except for one boxing analyst that already is coming up with excuses if I beat him. It's like he's saying, well, the minute he loses to Jesse, well, we're gonna say this. But if he wins, we're gonna say he's the next big guy, so that our next guy, our guy that we want to win, actually will build him up to be the next superstar. So it's very contradicting, but whatever it is, this is my line of work, and I just have to beat whoever's in front of me.
Do you use that for motivation?
Huh?
Do you use that for motivation when you hear people doubting you?
Definitely, Ryan. I use it as it adds fuel to the tank. You know what I mean? And it gives me that extra fire that I need. So actually, I think those people that are negative, you know what I mean, that say that he's too fast for me because of that, I want to be faster than him now.
So it helps you in a way.
It does help me. I mean, dude, you want to know something about me, man? When I was 12 years old, I won the national gold medal. I won a national Golden Gloves tournament, and this always stood out for me because with me winning, I came back the national champion, fought five days straight, and the next day we get newspaper into the gym, and guess what? The owner of the gym set up so that the newspaper would interview the guy that lost in the semifinals. And I'm like, I'm 12 years old. I'm like, hey, I won the medal, you know. And they didn't even want to interview me until at the end. They said, well, this kid here won the gold, you know. They wrote a whole page on the guy that lost in the semifinals, and I'm the national champion. I got the gold medal, and they don't even want to interview me. I had a little piece this big, you know what I mean, that was on the newspaper. So I'm used to being the underdog. I'm used to just kind of being pushed around like the fucking stepchild, unfortunately. You know what I mean? It's sad, man, but you know, it is what it is. We got to continue to succeed. We just got to continue to push forward, you know. I don't let anything break me, you know, and things happen for reasons. Sooner or later, I'll get the credit I deserve. But that always stood out, and I never said anything about it. To this day, I haven't even told the trainer nor the owner of the gym. But I remember that like if it was yesterday, man.
Against
Jessie.
Adam, you look more aggressive than usual. I mean, is that the new Jessie Vargas with a mean streak?
The mean streak, that's what you want to, yeah, that's what we should call it, because that's the way I am. You know, I'm just once we step into that ring, I'm just a different fighter now this year because of the team that I have, and because I know that in that ring, we're not there to play games, we're there to hurt each other. You know, and after the Bradley fight is when I say, you know what, forget all this, forget me trying to give the fans a nice boxing style, you know, a nice strategy and a classic boxer, Sugar Ray Leonard style. Nah.
So you're not going to take Steve Wynn's advice? You're not going to take his advice?
They want to see knockouts.
How has Louis changed your attitude? Your style? How has he changed you?
For the better, you know. I'm much more aggressive now. In sparring, actually, we don't even touch gloves anymore. You know, I told Dewey before camp, I told, hey Dewey, I don't want to touch gloves with him when we start each round. You know, so I have become much meaner, and that's what has benefited me as well.
What was it after the 12th round of the Bradley fight? Obviously, you clocked him. It seemed like the fight might have been over, and then it ended the way it ended. Like you were saying earlier, against Saddam, you're a lot more angry. But we've just even seen you out of the ring, like kind of the issues you've had with Bradley, just kind of talking and stuff like that. Like, what was it just after that round that just clicked with you that I need to be more aggressive, I need to be mean?
Because no one is going to give you anything, and you got to get up there and you got to take it. You know what I mean? And don't leave anything up to anyone else. And that's exactly what I'm doing. But the team that I have now has been a very important factor in the change of style that I have, and I'm very thankful to have them. And you're going to see us win together. You know, win for me is to win. We're winning together, and he's going to be trainer of the year. That's my goal.
Jessie, you think they're underestimating you and forgetting that you're the champion?
I think that I don't think they're underestimating me. I know that they know that they're in for a real fight. I think that, you know, people on the outside of the game have me as the underdog and don't believe that I can do it. But I'm here to prove everybody wrong once again, and I will. You know, I will. Come November 5th, I'm going to show them that I'm the real deal. Just about, I've always told you the same thing. I'm the real deal. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you, and I always have. You know, even though one time we had certain complications, even in camp. You know what I mean? One of my fights, I had to literally, what fighter do you know that switches trainers in the middle of camp? You know what I mean? It's not that I wanted to, it's just that it needed to be done, unfortunately. And, you know, sometimes you put in positions that are complicated and you just have to work through them. And now look, I'm a two-time world champion now. I'm fighting Manny Pacquiao. And everything, you know, what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. You know what I mean? Floyd said something that really stood out. You know what I mean? Tough times don't last. Tough people do. You know what I mean? There's a reason that I'm still in this sport. There's a reason that I still have a world title. You know, and that's how that's the only way that strong people will continue to succeed. You know what I mean?
Jesse, talking about Mayweather, what was your experience with Mayweather Promotions? We know you were there before you came over to Top Rank.
It was a great experience. They're cool. I'm cool with them now, and you know they're cool. I mean,
Jesse, since you returned to 147, you've been making statements with your power. Talk to us about that.
You know, bringing in Dewey Cooper and David Hayes has given me the confidence, the strength, the power, you know, that I didn't have before. You know, and I'm very happy to create the team that I have now. You know, and we have a great team. We're going to show everybody that we're very successful and that we're great at what we do. November 5th is going to be a start of a new beginning.
Jesse, with you being more aggressive, and obviously Pacquiao having an aggressive style, do you predict you winning by knockout in this fight?
I don't like to give predictions. I know that I will win. Tell you what, I'm going for a knockout. And the minute that he gives me that opening, I'm taking it. You know what I mean? That's for sure. And it's going to be a very entertaining fight. And the 8th round sounds very, very good to me.
You look like you've envisioned it before. How does it happen? Tell us, break down how it happens in your mind.
Well, I have to set it up first. So let me set it up, and then I'll let you know November 5th.
Has anybody asked you about Brooke versus Gennady Golovkin? Because you were supposed to face Kell Brook. What are your thoughts on that fight for this Saturday?
I think the Triple G has too much of a weight advantage. That's going to be a big difference in the fight. And Triple G wins by knockout. But hey, give credit to Brooke for coming up to attack.
¿Crees que puede ser el nuevo gran campeón mexicano con una victoria con Pacquiao?
Claro que sí, y así será con el poder de Dios.
Thank you, Jesse.